Do you want to learn how to become a real estate photographer? Check out my course, How to Become a Real Estate Photographer, at rickmcavoyphotography.com. If you want to take better photos in 2026 than you did in 2025, this episode gives you 5 simple things you can start doing today. Yes, really. Here's the thing about New Year's resolutions. Most of them fail because they're too vague or they're just too ambitious. Take better photos. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? But what does it actually mean? How do you do it? That's what we're tackling today. I'm giving you, dear listener, 5 specific, practical things you can do in 2026 that will genuinely improve your photography, whether you're using a phone, an entry-level camera, or professional gear. And it's not about the gear, is it? Let's not forget that. These aren't complicated techniques that require years of practice. They're simple actions that make a real difference. And I'm going to explain exactly how to do each one. How utterly splendid, eh? Hello and welcome to episode 223, blimey, of the Photography Explained podcast. And a happy 2026 to you wherever you are. This episode is titled 5 Things We All Need to Do in 2026 to Take Better Photos. A very good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening to you wherever you are in the world and whatever time of day you find yourself listening to me. I hope you're well. I'm your host Rick. Hi. And in each episode, I try to explain one photographic thing to you in plain English in less than 27 minutes-ish without the irrelevant details. Yes, really. I'm a professionally qualified photographer based in England with a lifetime of photographic experience, which I share with you in my splendid podcast. Okay, let's get into this. Getting started. Right, so these 5 things, they're not revolutionary. They're not going to turn you into Annie Leibovitz overnight. But they will, hopefully, make your photos noticeably better. There's no guarantees, you know. Noticeably better this year if you actually do them. And that's the thing, you need to actually do them. Some are about your gear, some are about your approach to taking photos, and one of them's about your mindset. But they all matter and they're all achievable and they're all worth doing regardless of where you are in your photography journey. Right, thing 1. Yes, I've gone to thing 1, I prefer that. Clean your gear properly and keep it clean. Yep, let me start with something that, well, it sounds obvious, doesn't it? But it can easily get overlooked. Clean your gear. And I mean properly clean it. Not just wipe the lens with your shirt sleeve when you notice a smudge. Don't do that. Here's what I want you to do. Get yourself a proper cleaning kit. You don't need much, you just need a blower brush, some microfibre cloths, some special disposable cleaning cloths and some lens cleaning solution. That's it, that's all you need. And it's going to cost you 20 to 50 quid or $50 or 50 euros. Other currencies are available to get the proper cleaning supplies. But do it and they'll last you a long time. Now, the cloths are disposable, so you use one once and that's it. The lens cleaning solution, yeah, when you've used that, you've used that. But the blower brush, the microfibre cloths, they can last a long old time. So it's a good investment and it's not a lot of money, thinking how much a camera costs. Okay, and you need to make cleaning your gear a habit. Before you go out to take photos, quickly check your gear. Blow any dust off your lens. Check your sensor if you're using a mirrorless or DSLR camera. Wipe your phone lens. Yes, phone users, your lens gets filthier than a camera lens does because it's been in your pocket, your bag, wherever all day. And another important thing here, store your gear properly. Not your phone, obviously, because that's in your pocket. Don't leave your camera on a table gathering dust. Keep it in a bag or a case when you're not using it. And that's a proper bag or case that gives you proper protection. And if you're using a phone, get a case that covers the camera when it's in your pocket. Okay, I haven't done that, but I am very careful. Clean lenses make sharp photos. Dirty lenses can give you soft, hazy, awful photos that no amount of editing will ever fix. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen someone show me the photos wondering why they're not sharp, and it turns out the lens is covered in fingerprints and dust and bad stuff. Clean lenses equal better photos. Simple as that. And another thing, when I'm out and about and I see other people with cameras, I look to see A, if they've got a lens cap on, B, if they've got a lens hood, and C, if they haven't got the lens cap on, is the lens clean? And the number of times it isn't is disappointingly often. Easy thing to do, doesn't cost you a lot, helps you create better photos, so why wouldn't you do it? Okay, thing 2, learn one camera setting really well. Don't try to master everything at once. Just pick one camera setting and become properly competent with it this year. And I mean really understand it inside and out. If you're new to photography or you're using your phone, start with exposure compensation. That's the setting that makes photos brighter or darker. Learn when to use it and by how much. Practice until adjusting exposure becomes second nature. This is such a valuable thing to be able to do. If you're using a camera and shooting in automatic modes, pick a semi-automatic mode and master it. Maybe that's aperture priority where you control depth of field, or shutter priority where you control motion blur. Choose one and use it for, 3 months straight until you instinctively know what setting to use in any situation. And you might learn to love that semi-automatic mode. You never know. I use AV, by the way, because aperture is my priority. Oh, good pun, Rick. But if you're already comfortable with the basics, pick a more advanced feature. Maybe back button focus. Maybe exposure bracketing. Maybe it's using your histogram properly. Maybe it's even learning to use manual mode. Yes, really. A common mistake people make is trying to learn everything simultaneously. You read about aperture, shutter speed, ISO, white balance, focus modes, metering modes, and can very easily get overwhelmed. I've been there a long time ago, I have to say, but I've been there myself. There's so much to photography, so much to learn, and you can very easily get overwhelmed and give up and just go back to using your phone. It's so easy these days, isn't it? So take one setting, learn it well, master it, and then move on to the next one. This is how you build proper photographic competence. Right, thing 3. I'm loving this thing. Take photos in different light. Most people take photos in the same lighting conditions. If you don't, well done. Many photographers take photographs in bright daylight. It's a very, very common thing that people do, and it's completely understandable. And no, you're not doing anything wrong if you're doing this. It's completely understandable. But this is what I want you to do. This year, deliberately seek out different light. If you always shoot in sunny weather, go out on a cloudy day. If you only shoot during the day, try dawn or dusk. If you avoid shooting indoors, bring your camera inside and experiment with window light or whatever light. Different light teaches you different things. Harsh midday sun teaches you about shadows and contrast and what a challenge it is to work in that light. Soft overcast light teaches you about subtle tones and also how you deal with the lack of shadows. Golden hour teaches you about warm colour and directional light. Indoor window light teaches you about working with limited light sources. One of the things that I do because I photograph buildings, don't I? Each type of light presents different challenges and opportunities. The more variety you experience, the better you'll understand light in general. And understanding light is absolutely fundamental to photography. Different light, different skills, better photographer. Photography is drawing with light, dear listener, so this light stuff, it's pretty important, isn't it? Yes, it is, Rick. But start small. If you normally photograph at 2 in the afternoon, for argument's sake, try 7 in the morning instead. If you always shoot outside, spend a weekend photographing subjects near windows and indoors. Different light, different skills, better photographer. That could be a strapline, couldn't it? Stop it, Rick. Thing 4, review your photos critically before sharing them. Yep, here's something that will instantly improve the quality of your portfolio. Stop sharing every photo you take. I know it's tempting to immediately post that photo you just took to Instagram or Facebook. Not for me, it isn't. But take a breath. Wait. Review your photos properly before you share them. This is what I do. After a shoot, I import my photos and I go through them once quickly, deleting obvious failures, the ones that are blurry, badly composed, technically broken, or just rubbish. And then I wait, possibly overnight, at least a few hours, and then I review them again with fresh eyes. This time I'm asking harder questions. Is this photo actually interesting? Does it say something? Is it worth sharing? Would someone who wasn't there when I took this photo find it engaging? As I don't share things on social media, how this relates is this. This is what I think before I edit a photo. If it's not a really good photo, I can't be bothered to edit it. And if I don't want to edit it, why would somebody else want to look at it? So that's what you can ask yourself. Can you be bothered to edit it? And if you can't, don't, and delete it. There you go. Be ruthless. If a photo's just okay, you don't need to share it, do you? Only share your best work. Your portfolio and how people view you as a photographer, it's not defined by the number of photos you post. It's defined by the quality of the photos you post. And this applies whether you're posting to social media, sending photos to clients, or building your own website. Quality over quantity, always. Sharing only your best work makes people respect your photography more. Sharing everything makes people scroll past your work without really looking, and it dilutes everything. And who's going to see the good stuff amongst all the rubbish if they're sharing everything? So review critically, share selectively. Your photography will be taken more seriously as a result. It really will. You don't want to be part of the noise, just posting mediocre stuff all the time. I think there's enough people doing that already, aren't there? Yes, there are. Thing 5, shoot something uncomfortable. This one's about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Whatever type of photography you normally do, deliberately try something different this year. If you love landscapes, try portraits. If you always photograph people, try architecture. If you shoot everything in colour, spend a month working in black and white. Yes, really. If you're comfortable with natural light, rent a flash and experiment with artificial light. Why should you try these things? Because trying new things teaches you skills that improve your regular photography. Portrait photographers, easy for you to say, Rick, learn about working with people and expressions. Landscape photographers learn about composition and light. Architectural photographers learn about lines and perspective. Each genre teaches different lessons, and that's how you can broaden your experiences and your capabilities and your appreciation of other genres of photographs. And you never know, you might discover a new photographic passion. You just never know. And you don't need to become an expert in your uncomfortable genre. You just need to try it properly. Give it a genuine go, take it seriously for a few sessions and learn from the experience. Then take those lessons back to your main photography. Uncomfortable can equal growth, and growth equaled better photography. Yes, there's a few snappy little strap lines in this year, which I'm hoping people are liking. Quick recap. Right, let's quickly recap those 5 things. Thing 1, clean your gear properly and keep it clean, because clean lenses make sharp photos. Thing 2, learn one camera setting really well instead of trying to master everything at once. Thing 3, take photos in different light to understand how light works in various conditions. Thing 4, review your photos critically before sharing them. Quality over quantity, always. Thing 5, shoot something uncomfortable to push yourself and learn new skills. There you go, 5 things, all achievable and all worth doing. But Rick, what if I use my phone to take photos? Well, everything I've just said applies to phone photography. Everything. Clean your phone lens. It gets filthy in your pocket, in your bag, lying around. Learn exposure compensation in your camera app. Photograph in different light conditions. Review your photos before posting them to social media. And try different types of photography with your phone. Phone cameras, let us not forget, they're incredibly capable now. The limitations aren't the gear, they're usually the photographer not understanding the fundamentals or pointing their phone at something interesting. These 5 things will improve your phone photography just as much as they'll improve your camera photography. And in fact, some of these are easier with a phone. Cleaning your lens takes 2 seconds with a clean microfibre cloth. Exposure compensation is usually just a slide of your finger on the screen. Different light, your phone's always with you so you can photograph whenever the light is interesting. Don't tell anyone these principles don't apply to phone photography because they absolutely do. Phone photography is just as valid as any other type of photography. A phone camera is just another device to take photos with. Right, glad I got that out of the way. What do I do? Let me tell you what I actually do that relates to these 5 things. Well, firstly, I check my gear before every single shoot. It's part of my setup routine. I check my lenses, clean my sensor once a month-ish. And I make sure everything is spotless before I even leave the house. And when I get back from taking photos, I clean everything properly so it's always ready to go for the next shoot. And because I do that, I don't worry about dust marks or other marks on my lenses ruining shoots because that problem has been eradicated and there's no reason why you can't do the same, dear listener. Secondly, I'm always learning something new. Right now, I'm debating whether to have a period of time using either an ND filter or a circular polarizing filter, one or the other, and just use it for a concerted period of time because it's going to influence my photography into a certain direction. So that's the kind of thing I like to do. Yes, even after 40 years, I'm still picking one thing and deliberately improving it. See, learning never stops, dear listener. Okay, third thing I do, I review my work ruthlessly. After every shoot, I go through my photos twice. Once immediately to delete obvious failures, then again the next day when I'm fresh. Only my best work makes it into my portfolio and only my best work goes to clients. This discipline has been essential to building a professional reputation. I talked about it before, didn't I? Only share your best photos. Don't share average stuff. Don't share rubbish. Don't share mediocre photos because they're a reflection of you as a photographer and you don't want that, do you? Okay, that's you told, isn't it? Here's something for you to do, dear listener. Pick one of these 5 things and commit to it for January. Just one thing. And do it properly for the whole month. Now, maybe you'll just spend January keeping your gear spotlessly clean. And if you do, that's excellent. Maybe you'll master one camera setting. Maybe you'll photograph in different light every weekend. Maybe you'll review your photos more critically before sharing, which is a great job to do in January when the weather's rubbish. Well, it is here in England. Maybe you'll try a completely different type of photography. Who knows? But just do the one thing for 1 month. See what difference it makes to your photos by the end of January. And then let me know, dear listener. Let me know how you get on. Okay, related episodes. I hope you're enjoying this New Year focus on improving your photography. And if you are, you might want to check out episode 222, which was the Best of the Photography Explained podcast, 29 essential photography tips that actually matter, where I went through the previous 221 episodes. Yes, I really did. And I came up with 29 things. Now, there's 5 here, which I brought forward to this episode. I wanted to break it down a bit to make it a bit more manageable. But check out episode 222. It's quite a long episode, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. Other than that, check out episode 220, The Photographer's Eye. See a great photo before you take it. Okay, I'm going to move on there, I think. Yes, please do, Rick. Next episode. Next time, we're talking about something that frustrates a lot of photographers, blurry photos. Episode 224 is titled, Why are my photos blurry? All the reasons and how to fix them. I'm going to explain every single cause of blurry photos and give you practical solutions for each one. No jargon, just practical explanations you can actually use to get sharper images. And if you've enjoyed this episode, which I sincerely hope you have, subscribe so you don't miss future ones. And for anything else, visit rickmcavoyphotography.com, where you can ask questions, get my weekly email, get in touch, and you can text me directly from the podcast feed. How utterly splendid. And you can find me on YouTube. Just put Rick McAvoy into the search and you will see me before you know it. And finally, check out rickmcavoyphotography.com/courses, where you can find out all about my splendid How to Become a Real Estate Photographer course. And I've got a new resources page which takes you in all sorts of splendid directions. rickmcavoyphotography.com, wait for it, /resources. Where do I come up with this stuff? Right, this episode was brought to you by a cheese and pickle sandwich and a Coke Zero, yes it really was, which I consumed before settling into my homemade, acoustically cushioned recording emporium. I've been Rick McAvoy. Thanks again very much for giving me 27-ish minutes of your valuable time. Now, I reckon this episode's going to be about, 23 minutes long after editing out the mistakes and other bad stuff. Thanks for listening. Take care. Stay safe. Cheers from me, Rick.
How to become a real estate photographer. rickmcavoyphotography.com /courses.